talk station. The following program is intended for mature audiences. Yeah, right. Next live. It's only the most durable, longest lasting, abundant, and common natural soft fiber on the planet. Up until now, no one's been talking about it. It's everything you ever wanted to know about him, and then some. Let's talk him with Mike and JR on HempSpeak.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to HempSpeak again. It's an honor to have you listening around the globe to the Hemp Whisperers, JR and Mike. JR is not with us today, but he will be back Monday. He's on leave, and by the way, he didn't get fined or anything, so it's okay. He had permission and all that good stuff. So, but JR is awesome, and we'll see him on Monday. So anyway, also we've got a great show lined up for you today. Jake Brown, who is multifaceted in the cannabis industry, but he's probably one of the most popular guys in the cannabis industry, or maybe not so. We're going to find out how that all shakes out. But one of the best jobs you could possibly have, I think, next to mine, of course. But anyway, we're going to have Jake on. He's got a company called HempBox, but he's also the pot critic for the Denver Post. So I bet he gets a lot of calls from people. We're just going to find out who it is. Okay, our phone number, in case you want it, is 719-591-5874, 719-591-KUSH. Okay, quick shout out. We had some great people in the studio yesterday. And of course, all this can be found on HempSpeak.com. And if you go to HempSpeak.com, you can actually see this live video broadcast going on right now. So that's pretty cool. And HempSpeak will direct you to that. Just click on today's date or the live video feed. You can also catch us on Let'sTalkPot.com. And that's pretty exciting information. We talk hemp essentially in our deal, but of course, as all our listeners know, pot is part of hemp, and so we get to discuss pot as well as we like to think of a big cherry pie and hemp being one little cherry of that, or pot being one little cherry of that pie, and hemp is containing the rest of it and what all you can do with it. And so it's pretty exciting, the possibilities, and certainly somebody like Jake Brown, who's at the front lines of that, will be there. So here you go. Let me see. I've got a call coming up right now. Hello, who's on the air?
Hey, this is Jake Brown.
Jake, it's a pleasure to hear from you, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing real well. How about yourself?
Dude, I can't complain. This sun is shining. I'm looking out this window here. The birds are chirping. There's some guys, I don't know if they're barbecuing or what the heck they're doing, but there's a little cloud of smoke coming up over here, Jake. What? You know?
Hey, listen, if there's not the smoke around here, you definitely know what it is.
Well, isn't that the truth? Well, you've got so much going on, and I was just trying to get our viewers up to speed here, but a company called HempBox, and then somehow you've probably landed one of the best jobs in Hoochie Coochieville, and that'd be, of course, somehow you're a pot critic for the Denver Post. Is this right?
You got it right. I like how you said most popular, or maybe not popular at all, because that's how I feel some days.
Well,
just if I'm reading the comment section.
Well, you got to. I mean, my gosh, and how do you choose? And then that's my first question. And then second of all, why aren't you here in the studio with a bunch of samples? We've got to line this up next time. I'm kidding.
Exactly. Next time we'll do that. The fun thing is that, whatever I want to choose, I can pretty much do it. I want to find something that people can't just find in Colorado. I don't want the Fort Collins OG. I want to find something that people can find maybe in California or Amsterdam. It's a pretty popular strain around the world.
Well, so you're not just limited to reviewing dispensers then in the Colorado area.
I apologize. We got some storms rolling in here. But no, not just dispensers. I found that if you go in and you're the critic, then you get different treatment than a lot of other people. But, at the end of the day, the buck doesn't lie. And, they can't make it any better just because it's for me. Well,
no, that's the truth. So do people know? Do you kind of do this? I remember when I was a kid. Well, not a kid. I was a younger man. We'd go with some people, and every now and then we'd say, we're with, I don't want to tell anybody, but we're with a mobile travel guide. Right? It's hilarious how, just the upgrade you get just on stupid stuff like that. So I can't imagine these guys are just unchaining the vaults and everything else to get you something that they think's demon. Right?
Yeah, I don't get free samples or anything like that. It's pretty much just I'm looking for what I think is going to be interesting. I'm fortunate enough to live in a state where it's legal and I can just walk in and show my ID and pick something up. So it's hard to be too critical of it, but you also have to hold people to a high standard too. There are a lot of patients that rely on this medicine, and people want to know.
Well, they do want to know, and the cannabis is quite a deal anyway, right? Between you and Ricardo and your staff, I think it's pretty funny, and you get a lot of great positives around the world. And I just think it's kind of ballsy of the Post to do it. I mean, here we got sleepy little Anschutz paper, and he's not about to run anything about hoochie coochie. They're scared to death of it down here, and it's like I'm really happy to see what goes on and how successful you guys really are as a website as well.
Absolutely. Ricardo Baca is a tremendous journalist first, and didn't come into this knowing a whole lot about the hoochie coochie, if you will, and has done an amazing job of educating himself and really surrounding himself with an amazing team. I'm lucky to be a part of it because it just keeps getting better. We have really cool stories. One of my favorite people that writes for us, Katie Shapiro, was up at the Norwalk tree at Hunter S. Thompson's land and talking with his widow, and just really cool stories like that where we get to do some hard reporting and get to talk about things that aren't just my strain reviews.
Well, that's the fun of our show, quite frankly, is we get to look at the whole hemp picture, and of course, obviously, Bot's part of that. But you've also got a company called HempBox. Could you kind of enlighten the crowd a little bit as to what exactly HempBox might be?
Absolutely. What we found is that, with hemp, it's a little bit more expensive than some other products that you see out there. So what we do is we allow people to try it before they buy it. And we send out 4 to 5 samples every month with a great full-size product in there as well. So you get to see a lot of, the new hemp products that are out there. And it's, nutrition products, whether it's hemp forest or it's protein powder. It's, bath and body stuff. So, a new shampoo or conditioner. We've got lotions, chapsticks, you name it. We've had it through our box. And we send one out every month. And it's what I call a knock on the door you look forward to.
So it's kind of a surprise, a Cracker Jack's not a surprise kind of thing. They really don't know what is inside the box until they get it. Is that right? Or do they have some idea?
Absolutely. We like to say it's a surprise because honestly, we try and expose people to something new. We've worked with, just had our 1-year anniversary. We've worked with 60 different companies from 3 different continents. So it's a chance to broaden your horizons, and I like to surprise every once in a while.
I think it's a great idea. I had no idea that's what it was, and that's pretty cool. Just right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We get to celebrate Happy Hemp History Week to you. We got a big event going on here in Denver tomorrow afternoon, and so we get a chance to really spread the message about hemp. I feel like everyone's talking about recreational and medicinal cannabis. We need to really get the conversation going about industrial hemp, and I think that's really what's going to turn a lot of economies around and help farmers in this country because they need it.
Well, you're absolutely correct. By the way, we had Jeff on yesterday, Jeff Greenslide from the Hemp Farmers Market coming up tomorrow. So let's give a good shout out to that. It's on the corner of Monaco and Evans. You guys are going to be there, I know. I think it runs from like 10 to 4 or something like that. You got all kinds of yoga and such. And
we're doing some film screenings. We're going to have Bring It At Home show in there. There's going to be hemp food. There's a bunch of different vendors. And it's free, So there's no excuse to not come out and support these hemp businesses because I think people would be surprised how many are based here. And, we're also fortunate to have some really cool free giveaways that we're going to be able to do too from companies like Manitoba Harvest, Dr. Bronner's, Nutiva, all of these companies that said, in Denver, Colorado. We're going to give you some cool stuff to give away.
That's real exciting, and I love the support. My pal isn't here today, JR, but we call ourselves the Hemp Whisperers. And, we're here to help this whole cause. And the whole idea is I just love everything that's going on, and we frequently see so many businesses. We call ourselves a petri dish because there's so much being spawned right here in the Front Range.
I don't like that. I'm going to borrow that.
Well, you can use all this. It's royalty free, darn it. Yeah. I got my let me get my trademark people on it real quick. No, but it's the truth, isn't it? I mean, my gosh, and it's all these politicians that say we need job creation. It's like, well, what do you guys look at? I've been a broker since 1978 in this state, and I can tell you one thing: there's a lot of action in not just grow spaces, but smoke shops, smoke clubs, warehouses, hookah clubs, vapor shops. It's ridiculous all the stuff that's going on right now.
Absolutely, and the coolest thing that we're seeing now is that there are actually products that are made here in Colorado using Colorado hemp, and that's something that we haven't been able to say for far too long. So that's a directly local. It's not coming in from Canada or Europe or China. This is Colorado hemp, Colorado hemp companies. We're seeing it in Kentucky, and to see that kind of American jobs and American ingenuity and American farmers all going back to work, it's one of the most exciting times.
Well, there's no question about it. And we're not kidding anybody here. Obviously, there's been hemp around the world for 10,000 years. What happened, though, specifically in 2012, what made Colorado just kind of like, well, everybody thinks it's just recreational marijuana, like you said. No, what happened is now Amendment 64 made industrial hemp legal.
Right, the best sentence in there, in my opinion.
Right, you're so right. It's like, and everybody just talks about this. Oh, we need to change it. It's the greatest state in the country right now to live in, bar none.
Absolutely.
Now you get around though, Jake. You see all these other states, and there are different laws, and you see how they're following. And I just don't see anybody that's anywhere near what Colorado has.
No, I would agree wholeheartedly. Last year I was fortunate enough. I had a chance to go to Amsterdam as a judge of the High Times Cannabis Cup. Saw that the laws were completely backwards there. I had a chance to go out to Seattle last year for HempFest. Was in Oregon just last month and got a chance to see how their laws are coming along. And I don't think that anybody can rival what Colorado has put together and really put together on the fly and responded to what the will of the voters was. And so I think that's so important for people to remember in other states is that, it just takes a few voices, and then those few voices become a real loud voice together.
Well, it's so exciting to watch this. Now, we've got, in fact, over the course of our show, we've had recently Morris Beagle. These are all people you know.
I love Morris.
It's fantastic. It was the best interview ever. And then we had Ed Larberger, Pure Vision Technologies. We've had Bill Billings, Travis Todd. Travis Todd's company is putting 100,000 hemp clones in Pueblo, Colorado this week.
Pueblo is a city that's a real interesting kind of case study for how that city has overwhelmingly decided that they want to be known for growing cannabis, whether it's sativa indica or they're just going to go old-fashioned hemp. That city gets it, and they understand, that they're going to put some of that infrastructure that kind of fell by the wayside back to work. And there's some really interesting stories coming out of there, and basically I think Pueblo is a town that you could really hold up and use as an example of where a lot of the municipalities in Colorado could learn a thing or two.
There's no doubt about it. The Pueblo Economic Development Committee actually has a warehouse, which is real close to the airport down there. And you drive right past it. Well, guess what's in that warehouse? There's 600 mother plants for hemp clones, and they had about 20,000 square feet of that thing. And so it's just ironic that not only will they're open. Now that's the county, the city. We have some issues still, but nonetheless, it just shows you they'll give you economic incentives as well. They actually understand the economic impact of this.
And better than so many other cities. And I think that, like I said, there's going to be some people in city government that are really going to be kicking themselves when Pueblo's numbers finally come in and people are seeing exactly what it can mean when you do provide those incentives, when you're willing to work with farmers, and when you're willing to take advantage of these laws that, it really have been, arcane for so long, and they just said, hey, we get it.
It bugs me, especially when it comes to hemp, right? I mean, pot obviously never should be anywhere near it is scheduled or any of that. But I mean, we're talking about rope here, and sure, that's illegal. I tell you, you can't have that, right? And when they lie to you so much about that kind of stuff, let's not call it lies. Let's just call it an absolute, complete misrepresentation. It's a total bastardization of anything you could possibly present as fact. And that's the truth. It just drives me crazy how they say it's so evil. How come we don't have a million heroin addicts in Denver, Colorado right now?
And you look at it, you're saying, well, here was an industry that basically had all the infrastructure wiped out, and everybody's starting from scratch, but that's not deterring anybody. And they say, listen, we understand the benefits of the hemp plant. We understand the economics of it. We're going back and we're going to start from scratch. And if it's going to be, those 100,000, clones, that's where you're going to have to start. And so there's going to be interesting breeding projects. There's a lot of people that are trying to find, high CBD variations. But, honestly, it's just what's going to yield well, what's going to do well here, because, Colorado is a place that could definitely use it.
No doubt. Now, you're seeing the green rice as much as anybody in Denver. Now, has the sky fallen in Denver? I was up there last week. I didn't notice anything really bad. Am I missing something?
I think that's really kind of flummoxing for people that were expecting, people that were driving high into school buses and, crime on every corner. And that's not the case. It feels very much like the same city. There may be a few, more businesses, but they're businesses where there wasn't anything before. Empty warehouses are being leased again. Their property owners are real happy about that. And I think that you look at the tax benefits that it's had, the opportunity to put some money back in our schools, which is sorely needed, and all those people that were trying to kick back up all that prohibition era propaganda are quickly finding they don't have a leg to stand on. Although we could probably make a prosthetic one out of hemp for them.
Oh, definitely you can. We'll get Billy Billings on there right now, and Eddie and Morris. Those guys will solve that real in a heartbeat. Yep. I'm a golfer, so we're working on putting greens and just we're going to get rid of the Poe-N and put in Poe.
Like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, well, we're sick people. We have a lot of time on our hands. It's crazy. But all right, so let's tell a little bit more. We're almost up to the 4:20 break. Not quite, but I know it's coming. Let's talk about this farmers market for a pinch, and then when we come back, I really want to get more into the hemp box. And this is just so much fun. And you get so many calls from all your pals. Seriously, hey, I went to elementary school with you. Hey, Jakey, remember me?
It's more teachers than anything. I have little teachers going, yeah, you were the one that was disrupting class. It's probably good that you're mellowing out a little bit.
All right. That's great stuff. All right, so let's give a shout out to the old farmers market coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, 6565 East Avenue. We're going to be there from 10 to 4. Tons of giveaways, live music, free parking, vendors, and it's family friendly too. So if you have some little ones, come out, make them learn about hemp too, because that's what's going to change everything is you keep educating the next generation.
Well, there's my favorite Jack Herer quote was always, I don't know if hemp can save the planet, but it's the only thing that can.
Yep.
That's always a good one. So, okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about hemp box, and you have so much going on. You have to be a consultant and all that. There are people just calling you all the time too for other reasons.
You know what? I'm fortunate enough. I was very consulting for a while, and I made an exit with a company. So I'm a freelance man now.
Well, that's fantastic.
If anybody wants to come out, check out some dispensaries, look at a private tour.
Hey, I'm going to be one of those guys. All right, it's 4:20 weather. I'm looking outside, and it's hazy. It's always hazy in Colorado at 4:20, and you can expect even more extreme haziness. I tell you. HempSpeak.com. We'll be back with Jake Brown. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Jake. Are you still there, Jake? You still there, Jake? Oh. Oh, yeah, he's there.
In the staffs at USA all the way.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent. We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way. They can't get definitive. So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-467-7530, 800-467-7530. Attention homeowners, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. We've told you about HARP in the past. There are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. And for 4 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. To learn more, call 800-QUICKEN. Visit jdpower.com for more information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call for cost information. Equal housing lender license law 50 states and must number 3030.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Land. I want to thank you so much for checking out K-High Radio. That being said, a reminder to always be responsible when you partake of your weed. I mean, for goodness sakes, if you see your kids doing it, at least smoke it with them. Don't waste a good bowl, right?
That's right.
Yeah. We are HempSpeak. You're here with the Hemp Whispers. We're down one whisper right now. JR will be back Monday. I'm Mike. We've got a great guest on the line, Jake, who has the best job in cannabis, maybe. You're one of them, certainly top 10. And
Here's Mike.
huh? Next to mine, yeah. Yeah, but I think yours actually is worth something, actually. You know, you got more friends than I do, I tell you that right now. Look at, if I could pan this camera around the studio, you'd see most of my friends. So it's kind of sad. But here, before we get going, I got to give a little shout out to our sponsor, USTHC.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring this show. We sure appreciate that. They will help you guys sort out any sort of real estate matter as far as warehouses, dispensaries, farms. If you're a hemp person, you want to be an investor, any of that, definitely reach out to the people at USTHC.com. If you want to buy a dispensary, they've got them listed and sold. So you just reach out to them. They'll help you sort that stuff out today. And if you're an investor, clearly, and Jake can maybe help me on this, but the easiest way, most of these people, if you want to own a dispensary or something, well, you actually have to be a resident of the state of Colorado and prove that. And so the easiest way for these people to actually take advantage of some of this green rush or what do we call it, the medical migration, all kinds of neat things. Well, you simply buy some sort of property that could house some sort of a marijuana tenant, and you'll be a very successful investor from the get-go. So that's a little pitch for USTHC.com, our friends. Also, we had a great couple of ladies yesterday in the studio, and you can go back to yesterday and see them, Jake and not Jake, Danielle and Naomi, and they've got a great little parking lot show tomorrow at 2105 T-Gap. A lot of neatly repurposed, up-purposed, great vendors, parking lot, band. It's 10 to 2, I believe. Be careful, these ladies are wild and crazy. You know, Jake, I wouldn't go near the place. I'm scared to death, all these crazy, wild women. But if you're...
Well, that'll be safe at farmer's market then.
No,
Never any wild women at farmer's market.
No, these women, no, they're just so much darn fun. And, you know, but anyway, so if you get the store's SDS, it stands for Sincerely Danielle Shop, 2105 Temple and Gap in Colorado Springs. All right, with us is Jake, my buddy Brown, who's got a great job, and he didn't come to the studio and bring samples, so I guess, you know, we'll have to work on that later, Jake, right?
Yeah, next time, anytime you're in Denver, there's always samples here.
You know, and I heard that little thing, promo that our program manager said right before we come here, about all, you know, everybody has to do this responsibly. And so I'm a golfer, and so they tell you don't drive under the influence. So I hit 3 wood.
Okay. That's great. I'm very careful about what I do under the influence of here. Because, you know, there's no sense of putting my job in jeopardy or other people's. And the other thing, too, is that if you look at Marinol, FDA-approved Marinol, it'll say, don't drive or use heavy machinery until you understand how it's going to affect you. So even the federal government will say it's fine to use THC and drive. You just need to know how does it affect you first.
Well, that's an interesting thing. And, of course, I thought marijuana had no medicinal value, but yet there's a pill called Marinol, right?
Right.
So how does that fit into that little program of what they call, I don't know, information? You have to laugh. I've always laughed. Honestly, help me on this. If marijuana leads you to higher drugs, and marijuana is scheduled as high as any drug could be, well, wouldn't it be more of a lateral move?
That's a really good point. Never thought about it like that.
No, it's ridiculous.
About it is, you know, if I never rode a bicycle, I probably wouldn't be inclined to buy a motorcycle, but that doesn't mean that riding bicycles leads to motorcycles.
It's amazing. I'm here in Colorado Springs, and there's a couple of rec shops just on the border here in Manitou, and they literally service about 15,000 tourists a month just in these 2 shops, and they've all gone to heroin. It's amazing. It's just every one of them. It's frightening. It's frightening. No, it's silly. It's so silly. But how do they get away with telling people this all these years? And that's what's so neat about this. I think Charlotte Figge, actually, with that little girl, who she might have been the one that broke the whole mold around the world.
I couldn't agree more. That was, I thought, one of the most interesting parts about seeing all this, you know, kind of medical revolution is that children were at the forefront, and you see these families that are forced to move, to leave their home to go to another state, and nobody should have to do that. Nobody should have to uproot their entire lives just because their child has a medical problem or because they have a medical problem. And people start seeing those stories, and it's sad. It's really sad, but it's also, you know, been a great opportunity for responsible people to point out exactly what's going on and how much of a medical benefit this really has.
Well, in Charlotte Figge's case, I believe her dad's high-ranking special forces guy. They've gone through $1 million of prescription medication remedies, and none works.
And you know, the hard thing too is that even if they do work, it's what kind of quality of life do they have on all of those prescription medications? You know, if you're going from 200 seizures to 100 seizures a day on these medications, but you know, they also you know, really negatively affect the quality of life. Well, why not try one of the safest substances known, you know, to mankind, and go from, you know, 10 prescriptions down to 1 if you're lucky, and go from 200 seizures to 2.
It's the truth. I look at, in my job, I go around and I talk to a bunch of dispensaries just like you do, and I'm amazed at how many medical dispensaries, they say they get people just come in just saying, help me get off either whatever pill they're on or prescriptions or maybe whiskey or something like that. They're really trying to, they understand that what they're doing isn't good for them, but they've never had this option. And it's so nice to have so many people that are compassionate now in the industry. And I believe the people in the industry, most of them are there because they're passionate about hemp and the cannabis plant.
I think that one of the best examples of that is one of my good friends, Roger Martin, who does Grow for Vets, and just his story of all of the medications he used to be on that, left him severely depressed, that didn't work for his team. And for him, it was a revelation. And then he started working with, former members of armed forces, trying to give them a better quality of life. And the stories that he can tell you, you got to get him on the program if you hadn't had him yet. That's a man who is doing some really great work out there, but who's, seen firsthand how it can change your life.
Well, we're seeing so many, literally hundreds, if not thousands. There's 1,000 families that have moved to Colorado Springs, and if there's that many, there's got to be 5,000 to 10,000 minimum that's moved to the Denver area. And
it's hard to find a place here anymore.
Well, this is the hurdle, and I feel that a friend of mine who will be at the show. If you don't know her, Margarita Waters, she has a little.
Hey, Margarita, if you're listening,
shout out to Margarita. And we're trying to get up a little deal. It just I've been a brokerage since '78 in Colorado, and I just know how the landlords treat these poor families, and I'm appealing to any compassionate property owner who would like to rent a property to any of these kind of families. Please reach out to me at info@hempspeak.com, and if you're willing to rent it at a fair market rate, I don't want somebody that's going to say it's 5 times more because your kid has epilepsy. But if there's anybody that's willing to help in this, and I'm going to start putting some stuff on my webpage and on HempSpeak and what have you. And so any way we can get this word out, I don't know, Jake, how can we get the message out to where these people really need help?
We've been doing, which I think is real important, is to try and engage people online. That we find that that you have such a wide reach, and you can touch so many people that are, from other states, all different economic levels, all different races and genders. Everybody gets together online, and you can really create some positive change there. And you can start to reverse the messaging that, we're fighting against decades and decades of propaganda here. And so to be able to, we got to work together to get this message out. I mean, we were just talking about Margarita, and she's doing, this small business big game contest. And so she's, trying to put herself out there online. If she wins, then she gets a TV commercial out of it. So we're trying to support her. It's real important that we all just stick in it together. The one thing that I love about the hemp industry, as opposed to, the dispensary system, is that everybody is working together hand in hand, and there's not, infighting and bickering, and you guys are doing this, and it feels like a family when we go out to these events. Everybody's so supportive because we understand that, this cause is bigger than any one company or any one person, that we're all in it together.
Well, I love to hear that. It's so true because, quite frankly, marijuana's getting all the attention. And that's where the money is. There's not a lot of money in hemp right now. I'm just guessing, you would know better than me, but a wholesale pound of hemp's probably less than a wholesale pound of Northern Lights or something.
Well, hey, listen, that seed stock, though, is incredibly valuable right now. I mean, you talk to just about anybody who's trying to get off the ground, and they're saying, these farmers are, they can't really do much in terms of turning seed into edible products or pressing for oil, things like that. It can be used to make the kind of consumer goods that Hempbox works with, because they have to save all their seed. I mean, if we could import seed, this would be a totally different discussion. But right now, a pound of seed is like a pound of gold in this state.
Oh, it's got to be. And I think this time, next year, I think we'll be able to literally plant tens of thousands of acres. It just seems like there's just so many people. Right across the studio from our building is a hemp company. I was driving to work the other day, and there's just another hemp company and a bunch of greenhouses, and it's just becoming so wide open. And all these guys are growing seed stock, I got to guess, right?
Right. It's a big push right now. You gotta have seed, and you'll start to see exponential growth too, because that first harvest is always real tough, and then the second one you're hoping to quadruple what you did the year before if everything breaks right. And you see that exponential growth, and that's what our farmers need right now, is to not be handicapped, to not be trying to sow seeds with one arm tied behind their back, because it's hard to compete with a lot of these Canadian companies that have been able to work with them for a lot longer.
No doubt, and it just blows my mind that we have to import so much from China and Canada and everywhere. I want some hemp cards and hemp shirts and all that. And I can't wait to get some from made in Colorado.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a giveaway tomorrow. We have the exclusive Hemp History Week T-shirt that we're going to be doing as one of our giveaways at the booth. So it's always good to be able to do something like that.
Well, now, you guys anticipated a pretty good crowd tomorrow.
The response we've seen on Facebook so far has been overwhelming, and I look back at an event like the NOCO Hemp Expo that just happened a few months back that Morris organized, and it was one of a definitive event in the state's hemp history. And so you hope that you keep that momentum going and that people continue to turn out and support as well as they did that. And credit to Morris for really getting that ball rolling. And so we got to figure the momentum's on our side right now. And this is going to be a different event, sure, but farmers market is something everybody can get behind. And come on down. Complain about a free event?
No, that's right. There's no fights. There's nobody. Everybody's here to have a great time and learn something. And I think it's great that we're able to have these hemp shows. We had a conversation. There's a big cannabis expo coming up in Jacobs Javits Center in New York in June, and June 19th, and got a big cannabis expo down here in the Springs that same weekend. And I have a HempSpeak reporter that he's always at HempCon here and there, and it's amazing just how much attention there really is around the country and around the world. But around the world, they know about hemp. Jake, I have people that are anti-pot, anti-hemp, but they're driving a car that the interior is made out of hemp.
Exactly. They just don't know any better, and that's the one thing that we keep seeing, especially we get all these requests from people in Europe that are saying, hey, send us a hemp box. We get it. The same thing with Canadian consumers. They understand that the education isn't there. But that's one of the other things that I love about doing something at the farmers market is that people show up and they're not asking, well, is this going to get me high, or can I give this to my kids? Everybody just they understand, and for us, a luxury, because so many times we'll go out to events and people don't get it, and so when you're supporting hemp companies, you're also supporting the education that they are going through and what they're imparting to people that they're talking to.
Well, we've only got about a minute and a half, and then I'm going to hold you over. If you could just do another 10 minutes or so with us, it'd be fantastic. We've just scratched the surface of where we can go with Jake Brown. So Jake, give a little bit of ways people can reach out and shout out to the cannabis and all that, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, the best way to find the box is hempbox.com, and you go online. It's only $20 a month. You can cancel at any time. We won't hold it against you. It's a really cool way to support a lot of different small businesses too. We work with the big guys, but we also work with people that are just kind of finding their legs. So that's what we would recommend. Go to hempbox.com, or like on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places you can find us. The best way to support.
All right, we'll be back with Jake in a little bit. All you hemp whispers in Hempville, keep listening up. still hazy as heck. I see the sun. It's cloudy in this room. They're barbecuing outside. HempSpeak.com. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm sorry, I didn't know that we were going to be on so long.
Is it crap yet? Can you do it any longer, or you got to go?
I got to go pick up a bunch of stuff that we're still organizing for tomorrow. I can come back with you after the break, though. I don't disappear.
Okay, yeah, do that. Give me about another 5 minutes or so, then that'll be great.
All right, thanks so much.
Right, cool. Thank you. You're doing good.
Man, just didn't tell me how long. I figured we'd just be doing a segment real quick.
Oh, dude, this is great. It's a pleasure having you on, and we'll definitely get you for more coming up. So we'll just sort out a few things at the end and let you go.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Visit them on the web at mpp.org.
Do you have filed tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse, much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-299-1855. That's 800-299-1855. 800-299-1855.
This isn't 740 KVOR. This is KI, where we report the news like the original President David called. I forgot where the station was located.
Next slide.
Okay, we are back on HempSpeak. Thanks for joining us. It's been a great interview with Jake Brown of Hempbox and the Denver Post marijuana critic. Jake, you still with us, buddy?
I'm here.
Okay, I know you got to go wrap some stuff up, but it's been great having you on. Give about another minute or two just to build that super excitement for tomorrow. I think you have yoga, you've got probably, I don't know, do you have girls hula hooping or anything? What do you got?
Listen, if there are people hula hooping, then demand a refund. No, it's going to be, there's a little bit of everything. Hempway Foods is going to be, there are a ton of different hemp foods, burgers, tacos, tortilla wraps. We're doing a screening of the Rocky Mountain Hemp Association is doing Bringing It Home. That's screening from 6 until 9. Or excuse me, that was screening yesterday at 6 until 9. But it's going to be a really good time. So it's us working with the Sustainable Living Association, Hemp Connoisseur Magazine, the Greenhouse, and Flores, a Colorado hemp company. It's a real solid day. And like I said, bring the kids, bring the family, but bring your parents, bring a friend who doesn't know a lot about hemp. There's literally something there for everybody, whether you're looking for cool new socks or some lotion, whatever. It's going to be there. And fact.
Well, that's real exciting, and we sure appreciate your time. And I hope I can get up there. I don't know if I can, but I know you'll be swamped with people. And if any of our listeners come by, make sure you stop by the HempBox booth and introduce yourselves to Jake and sign up for the HempBox. Sounds like just a lot of fun and a surprise every month.
Yes, mention Mike and the Hemp Whisperers, and we'll go ahead and we'll get you some extra samples if you can make it. And please give my best to JR. I hope he can be on it.
Well, we'll have you in the studio sometime soon, and it's been great, Jake. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy guy. We took a lot of your time, but it's been awesome. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right. Okay, everybody, that was Jake Brown, and you can go to cannabis.com, which is, or you can go to the Denver Post and then go to the Cannabis from that position. And the Cannabis is, of course, the Denver Post website, which focuses on cannabis and canna issues. And Jake has a pretty good job over there. I'll tell you what, he gets to go around, and he's a travel guide for the marijuana industry. So he's, like we said, he's probably got a lot of friends. Okay, we've got some other stuff. Hold on here. There we go. We've got some good stuff coming up. We've got Danielle's event coming up at SDS. That's at 2105 Templeton Gap tomorrow in Garden Springs. Nice little event. She's got about 20 tenant vendors, all kinds of fun handmade soaps and all kinds of neat stuff, all repurposed. If you're anywhere near Denver, definitely get up to Monaco and Evans and say hi to the HempBox people. That'd be kind of fun. There's just so much going on in hemp in Colorado. Every day it just grows and grows, and literally like a weed, which it is apparently. But it's a lot of fun here. Also coming up, we have, I'm going to hold this up to the camera. I've done this before so you guys can look at it. But this is coming up here this month as well. This is June 19th and 20th at the Garden Springs Event Center, U.S. Cannabis Expo. This is in Garden Springs, Colorado. 30-plus speakers and panelists, hands-on hemp. DJ Diablo from our tailgate sister station will be there. A lot of fun. Many exciting vendors and speakers. I'm just looking at some of these speakers, and there's some really cool ones. Of course, one neat one is Paige Figge, who is the mother of Charlotte Figge, who really changed the world as far as hemp goes, as far as I could see. Also will be Attorney David Bush. And by the way, Attorney David Bush will be on our show live in the studio Monday. So make sure you catch our show on Monday with Attorney David Bush. He'll tell us all kinds of things cannabis related. It's amazing what's going on out there. And of course, I want to give a shout out to some of our great other shows. If you happen to listen to K-High, and if you haven't been experiencing some of the nice shows, one of my favorites clearly is the cannabis people, the cannabis attorney. That'd be Charlie Houghton and Casey Stark. And they're right now out doing a tour of the country trying to help people. They were last in Kansas City, I think, KC. I don't know if that's any relation to that. But anyway, they're doing some great stuff. And the legal side of the marijuana industry is something everybody has to be aware of. And there's nobody better than Charlie to sort it out, Casey to get you going into business. There's no doubt about that. We've got some other great shows along. Miranda with Let's Ash It Out. She had some great people on today. Make sure you stay aware of some of these programs. It's kind of neat. We're followed by the weed pimps every day, so there's some wild and crazy gentlemen, but sure good for our community. We're seeing so much happen that's nice in the marijuana industry in the state of Colorado, and it's really cool. So we just got to keep that momentum going. That's the main thing, and I know that the momentum is going to continue because you really can't stop what's right and what is the right thing to do. So anyway, Hands on Hemp, we're going to make sure that you guys get this information. So how you get to the U.S. Cannabis Expo, by the way, I didn't give you that. You go to U.S. Cannabis Expo, that's biz, cannabis, I'm sorry, cannabisexpo.com, U.S. cannabisexpo.com. Even better, 719-422-6628, 719-422-6628. That's a 2-day deal, June 19th and 20th. And also, for all you world cruisers, if you happen to be anywhere in New York City, the Jacob Javits Center, I'd recommend you the International Cannabis World Congress. Our friends Dan Humiston with the International Cannabis Association has that event going. And that's the same weekend, by the way, June 19th. I think they're June 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Jacob Javits Center. And all these are just hemp shows. So, and cannabis shows. A lot of information, a lot of investors, a lot of different companies. And if people don't understand how many people are actually moving to these states that are allowing marijuana. Now, of course, the most notables are, of course, Washington and Colorado. We have Oregon and Alaska has just passed. Washington, D.C. is coming around. But what makes Colorado quite unique is it has Amendment 64, which passed in 2012, that actually allowed industrial hemp to be grown by our farmers. So it's pretty exciting in Colorado these days, and we're ramping up. And as Jake, our guest, just said, getting the seed stock has been part of the hard stuff. But I think after this season, that'll be the end of that, and we'll be doing nothing but a lot of Colorado grown hemp. And we're going to find out for sure. But we have, based on what we see, and that, keep in mind, we're the Hemp Whisperers, and what we are is basically a modern-day farm report. We're trying to tell people what's going on out there in the hemp world. It's because hemp has always been taboo because of its cousin marijuana. Hemp has been banned since 1937, and for those of you that didn't know, hemp actually helped us win World War II. You can go Google a nice little documentary produced by the Department of Defense, and how it's all about how when we lost our silk connections and we needed the sales and the hemp for the sales, and this hemp actually ended up saving President George H.W. Bush's life, and thus obviously W's as well, because W probably wouldn't exist had not that hemp parachute engaged. So that's just one of the many, many things with hemp. Hemp's been around for many years, and it's very important. It's all about recyclability and sustainability. The plant requires less water, less chemicals. It can be grown in anywhere, many climates. Yeah, it's drought resistant. It produces so many products, the hundreds of thousands of products. And when we talk about hemp being the cherry pie, and marijuana just being one cherry of that cherry pie, maybe that'll help you understand the scale of it. And that's a big cherry pie, by the way. Hemp can literally produce 100,000 products. Things like this water bottle, this briefcase, any of this plastic stuff that's around, that's housing this equipment in here, the carpeting in this room, the drywall, the ceiling tiles. You can make the studs out of it. And in fact, they do. And if anybody goes up to Monaco and Evans, so make sure you're getting up there. Monaco and Evans tomorrow. It's at the greenhouse. It's at the northeast corner of Monaco and Evans. That's in Denver, Colorado. And that is between 10 and 4 o'clock. And then we also have, don't forget the nice little show down here in the parking lot, SDS. Wonderful time. Nice bunch of ladies, and their hearts are in the right place. As for Danielle or Naomi at the SDS event, now it's at 2105 Templeton Gap in Colorado Springs. So make sure you come to that event. And now here, let's talk about some good stuff. It's Friday afternoon. Y'all are going out to happy hour, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. Our sun's shining. The birds are chirping. We've got a nice weekend coming up, and I know it's a great time for you hippies out there. And always continue all those nice emails from around the world that you're sending us. We really appreciate that. We've literally been touched from all over the place, including Canada, Australia, even states that like Texas, which I'm not even sure they're a state still because of the way they treat their marijuana, but they're coming around, and most of these states are coming around. So it's been a good time yakking with you guys today. We've had a great show. Jake Brown's got more pals than you can imagine, and what a great job. But he's got to keep it honest, I'm sure, because he can't make anybody too mad in what he does, but at the same time, he's got to tell it like it is. So it's kind of like walking a fine line. And if he can do that, I think Jake's got a great career in politics down the road. But anyway, all right, everybody, thank you for listening. The Hemp Whispers are done. Sarah will be back on Monday with us, and thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody. HempSpeak.com.